Hey everyone, so I shared yesterday that I am seeing a physical therapist for my abdominal separation, which is where the two sides of the rectus abdominis pull apart because the connective tissue in the middle is weakened. In my case, it's because I have a big scar, I had abdominal surgery, and so the muscles can't move like they should, and so because the scar tissue is restricting the mobility in some places, then something had to give. So there's a hole in that connective tissue. So I wanted to show you, because it seemed like there was a lot of interest in this, I wanted to show you the exercises that the physical therapist gave to me. Now I just want to note that this is not to be taken as advice of any kind because your situation is different than mine, even if you also have abdominal separation. Yours might be in a different spot or different level of severity. So the reason I'm showing this is not like, here, try this too. But I just think it's really interesting to always be learning about how the abdominal muscles and really all the muscles in the body work. And so I just thought that some of you might find this interesting. So the two things that she's having me do, and I've just only had my first appointment, so I'm going to be going regularly and getting maybe some different exercises as this continues. But the first two exercises are really just very small movements, which I thought was the most interesting part, that these really kind of seemingly minor or small exercises can have much of an effect. So I'll just show you real quick. They're actually pretty simple. So the first one is actually activating this low abdominal muscle here that's kind of like, if you're wearing low-rise jeans, it's right around the waistband of those is the best way to describe it, going across. And so the purpose of this exercise is really to activate that muscle that kind of goes in the opposite direction. So the rectus abdominis goes up and down. So then when this is activated, it pulls things together from the bottom. So these two muscles, instead of pulling apart, will have some force pulling on them to help them pull together. And I don't think you're even going to be able to see this, honestly, when I do it, but I'll just, I'm going to use this in a second. I'll get it out of the way and I'll show you, but really probably you'll understand it better from listening to what I'm saying. So, like I said, it's a small movement. The thing about this is when activating that muscle, we tend to kind of clench up everything. So what I'm working on is isolating it and activating that low abdominal muscle without clenching my glutes or contracting my rectus abdominis. So the way the physical therapist put it is just like a small contraction of just that one muscle, as if you're trying to zip yourself into a tight pair of jeans and just get that little extra like sucking in right at the end. That's the muscle there. So I don't know if you want to lie down and try this with me, but I'm doing these small contractions just as I'm talking, actually. And it's so easy to squeeze like everything to get at this one muscle. The hard part is relaxing everywhere else and isolating this one muscle. And she said that I can see progress just by doing that 8 to 10 times a day. So really quick, really simple. It's not like I'm spending, hours on these exercises. Honestly, if I had known how simple this was going to be, I would have done it so much sooner. So here's the second one. You just need an ordinary bed sheet, and then you tie it around your waist, or not tie it, but wrap it, I guess. And it's going right where my separation is. And what this is going to do, I'm going to do little mini crunches while pulling on this, so it helps kind of reprogram your muscles. So crunch exercises are really the worst for abdominal separation because it kind of exposes that weakness and it exaggerates the tendency of the abdominal muscles to pull apart. But with something like this, reminding them to pull together, and that's what you saw in my picture last night, had the tape on too. So by reminding them to pull together and kind of assisting them as we crunch, then the idea is they can learn a new habit of pulling together with that lifting motion. So here's what that looks like. It's really, really small, and I'm pulling, I'm not pulling like super hard, I'm just, you know, kind of gently pulling the two sides of the sheet together. And I lift up, and kind of naturally when I would crunch, you know, when I was showing her, she's like, here, try this. And she noticed I had a lot of tension in my neck, so instead of crunching up that way, I really had to focus on lifting straight up and lifting with my abdominal muscles instead of my neck muscles. So it looks like this. It's just a tiny little crunch. And 8 to 10 of those. With gentle pressure on the sheet. But it's just really cool because, you know, I can kind of feel that there'd be this little like area that would pop up when I would crunch. And using the sheet, I can feel that it's lengthening instead of like, I wish I had words, but that's what it feels like. Hard to describe that. So I'm just really hopeful for what this can do. And, you know, obviously I'm not the expert. If you have an issue related to this, I would very much recommend that you see a physical therapist if you can, because the recommendations are going to be different for anyone. But if you have any questions about what I'm doing in my situation, definitely shoot me a message. Happy to tell you all about it. Thanks for watching.